treat you right. Who are you supposed to be? Stumble back home so drunkenly, saying that you wanna make love to me. I know why. Not your commodity, taking me for granted, now you gotta leave. I don't wanna hear your apologies, no more lies. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah. And I know where you went tonight. Ooh yeah, and I know she don't treat you right. Ooh yeah, maybe you do this to yourself. If you ain't happy by my side, you should go and find someone else. Ooh yeah. Who are you supposed to be? Stumble back home so drunkenly, saying that you wanna make love to me. Not your commodity, taking me for granted, now you gotta leave. I don't wanna hear your apologies. Who are you supposed to be? Ooh
Good morning, good afternoon for the people over the rest of the world, on the other side of the world. Today we are back again. Tuesday is modular training day. Today we're going to talk about profile systems. Welcome everybody. Just interesting to know is that when you enter this webcast, you can always go backwards if things were not understood 100%. So that's indeed the advantage of having a live webcast. But of course, a little bit of update on the COVID-19. A lot of countries are lowering their rules. They're going to activate slowly, like you've seen last week. People need to wear masks everywhere in the world. Just be careful to choose the right one. Next to that, a lot of people during COVID time, I'm not one of these, but do have a lot of time. I hope this will end soon, that work goes on and goes into a speed tempo. But let's go into our profile world. Basically, it's a beautiful, very beautiful collection that I've made, and it's just to show how powerful our systems of profiles are. They are suitable in different segmentations. So you can see right upstairs that we can easily go into office lighting, as well as into high residential in the middle of the screen, breakout spaces, hospitality areas, as long as you are creative with our building blocks. As well as IP rated profile solutions where you can definitely make that difference. But let's go and do it step by step. So I took myself the honor to use our profile configurator screen, because you can actually make your own customized profile within 2 minutes. And it starts by choosing 1 out of 15 modules. 15 modules. So that's really a lot, going from ultra slim, the 2FLEC2C, over Drupal, over a lot of the from the old teams towards this webcast. So step 1, choose your model. Step 2, you choose where you want to install it. So the mounting, it means, do I want to go for recessed? Do I want to go for recessed trimless, or surface, or suspension, or suspension hinged? Suspension hinged means if you have a slope ceiling, we also have adjustable suspension systems to help you. And last but not least, you can also go towards the wall. Number 3. So 1, choose your design. 2, where do you want to install it? And number 3, you define the length as well as the kind of light you would like to use. So the length, I've just highlighted it. Everything up to 10 meters. We go into millimeters, of course, so it's 10,000 millimeters. This system is easy to configure everything yourself. Beyond 10,000 millimeters, we will fully assist you with our profile teams. The maximum length is also interesting, but I'm not going to deep dive how to use this system. This is good for a training of my modular, but this is basically to show the possibilities of our profile solutions. So once you define your length, you also go and check which kind of light do I want. And here, this goes really mental. The first option that you have is go for general lighting. In there, you have different options like a polycarbonate, white light. You have linear solutions with a prismatic, because like I've shown in the first slide, modular is extremely good also in office lighting, where the light quality, UGR, remember from the previous webcast, unified glare rating. Or you also go for lens technology, where it's suitable for other kind of profile solutions. But it comes interesting if you can make that mix. The mix, an interesting mix between general lighting and a combination of spot lighting. And in here we have ton loads of solutions. We have that smart family. Oh my God, smart family. So this is a product family. And certainly you can also go from in the ceiling, wall, surface, box, whatever, into a linear solution where you have lotus, cake and cup. You can use balls again, or the rector. And that's indeed making that modularity really come through. But also uplighting, to have a homogeneous lit up project, space, room. You can also add uplight in lots of our profile solutions. So this is interesting to use again that modularity strength of modular lighting instruments. Now, you have chosen your kind of luminaires. Which kind of dimming would you like? Most of the people go for DALI, but also 1 to 10 volt is a very stable dimming protocol, or you go for non-dimming. So that's interesting and very simple to do. One of the last steps is choose your color. We have a whole range of colors. The standard colors are black structure painting as well as white structure painting, which harmonize the catalog of the luminaires. We use exactly the same kind of painting. But also into linear solutions, they are made out of aluminum extruding, which is interesting to go towards anodization. We have the natural anodization, which we talk about aluminum anodization. We have that gold anodization, which doesn't change the color of your light, but upgrades very easily your hospitality feeling. And then we also have that matte black anodization, which is completely different than the black structure painting, which really shows the purity of the aluminium that we use. And last but not least, we also have option RAL, where you define the suitable RAL or Pantone codes meeting the requirements of the architecture of your kitchen or spaces or rooms, whatever. And then upfront you do that request. We do a basic check and then we go live. Last but not least, you can also choose the color of the LED. We call that the CCT, the color Kelvin temperature. All over the profile portfolio, we have 2700 warm white, we have the 3000, which is natural, and we also have the 4000 Kelvin to cool down the space. We also have in some profiles as well the choice for different beam angles. Once we use lens technology, you have the option to choose different beam angles from 50, 80, 100 and 120 degrees of beam angle. So that's a lot of options that you can choose. So I'm now showing actually you have defined your own profile, and then you can download your quotation, or immediately without sending an email to us, you can download our LDT files to integrate in Dialux, or you can send the installation manual up front towards your contractor or installer. So this is actually the DIY, do it yourself, to define your own customized profile. And actually I'm talking a lot, but actually once you do this one online, it takes you 2 minutes. What do we offer then? You get your quotation, you get a basic technical drawing, you also get the cross section of your chosen profile, as well as how to connect the electricity towards our profile. So that's basically and fast towards your customers. Of course, for exceptions, you can always use our profile request form. But what is now so exceptional from Modular is that our profiles are fully assembled. They are assembled in Belgium. We have 25 years of experience. That's why I use this old guy to show that he has more than 25 years of experience. We use waste packaging. Everything is wrapped in cardboard, which means in some countries you even get money to pick up your waste packaging. Everything is fully tested with a lot of testing machines. No label, no tests. 5 years of warranty, exactly the same as we have for our luminaires. Some people at Modular say, why do you show this one? We have installation instructions. We have all the documents inside the box, even up front. So we have like a manual leaflet per project. It's a clear way to install, because we all know if you have a project in an office where you have different sections, you better understand the puzzle really fast. So that's why we have a clear installation way. We also put numbers on the drawing as well as on the boxes, so that the puzzle becomes easy to install and you know upfront which is number 1, which is number 49. And all for the technical freaks, we also have the self-drivers from the LED solutions. But now it comes interesting. So you customize your profile, not for fun, but to define a real spec and also to meet the requirements of your end user or your contractor or the stakeholders by using options. Emergency units. More than ever before, people want to have a safe environment. To integrate your smoke detectors, because the profile is not just the linear solution to carry the light, but also to integrate more things like daylight controls. It's to have that ambient of right light at the right space, but also to save energy. Also, approach sensors, exactly the same. The colors are mentioned, as well as different corners that we offer to indeed meet the requirements of your project. So that's in general what we can offer as our linear profile solution. So now we go and deep dive in 2 profiles. And the first one is Mr. Drupal. Drupal, where does it come from, that particular name? Well, it's again simple. It's not to fool you again. It's like Cubini, Mini Cubini. This one is a Drupal, which refers towards the lens technology that we use to indeed have a perfect UGR compliant profile solution. So the raindrops refer towards the lenses. So I just said it. it's actually made around lens technology, and indeed for you to integrate it into office lighting where you need the perfect light. And also slowly we also see that it goes beyond office lighting as well as in hospitality and also into high residential. Everybody needs the right light in the right space without sacrificing. So how do we do that? We have solutions from Mr. Drupal in a surface mounted solution. You just stick it towards the ceiling. We have a recessed solution where we have that 1 centimeter of flange and everything is hidden inside the ceiling. Or we have the suspension solution, which is easy to integrate into renovation jobs or into open space offices. But now, modularity. Here we start again. So we have one profile, which we call Drupal 70. 70 refers towards the width. Like the previous webcast, I was informing you about these codes. So everything in the catalog, which shows a certain kind of code, talks about a diameter. For profiles, we talk about the width of the profile. So 70 is 70 millimeter. Now you can go for different designs into the same profile. You want to go for the edgy style, then we go for indeed the sharp cover, which is the right hand side, a little bit like the cup for people who joined us for the round solutions. We have that middle one, which is just a straight one. I don't want to shock too much with the design. I need proper light and I want to recess everything from design inside the profile. Or we go for curved. Once you go organic, cake or curved cover, you have that smooth radius going inside that profile. Dimensions for the recessed as well, like I mentioned, 70 millimeter for the surface and 87, including the flanges, for the recessed solution. But you have the possibility to play with designs, but you also have the possibility to play with colors. But not just one color, but you can mix and match. So you have that base profile and you have the covers from the previous slide. So you can color your base profile and you can also choose same or different colors in the covers. The only rule is you have to combine painting with painted covers or anodized profiles with anodized covers. Voila. Do I need to explain a lot of things about this? No, you mix and match. Recessed, surface, suspension, 3 different designs, different color combinations, and I did not even talk about the lens technology or the drivers. And so here the lens technology of that Drupal, where I showed a little bit on the configurator, here it is. So we have different lens technologies, different beam angles, to meet the perfect light, the perfect height in your office, and also to illuminate not just one office space, but maybe 2 workspaces. Or once you go into hospitality or into kitchens, the possibilities are unlimited. We also have an ellipse lens as well to also show things that I'm going to explain a little bit later. But design feature, modular, basic, and simple. If I don't need wires, we don't show wires for a surface one. Suspension is difficult without wires, but we don't show screws because we use magnets to click the end plates onto our profile. Easy to install, easy to maintain. And we also use thick aluminum profiles. Why? It's more expensive, yes, we know, but it's also a solid solution to avoid gaps, because the majority of our profile projects is beyond normal lengths. It's 10, 20 meters, whatever, and then you have that 180-degree connections where you don't want to have light gaps, and we can easily solve it with our really solid connectors together with the thick raw material. Applied. Indeed, that's one of the last extensions in the profiles of Drupal, is that you can also, instead of the perfect downlight, you can also integrate in the same profile with integrated drivers as well to illuminate ceilings and to have more a general comfortable light solution. And now, Andreas, can you show us really live some profiles, please?
Yes, of course I will. Also from my side, hello to everybody. As last week, I am a bit of the producer. The only thing now is that we are in the same room again. Yeah, this goes a bit more fluently. Now, what I have here is basically our Drupal profile, as Fred has been talking about already. Where I will show you some features. This is the anodized aluminium version, as you can see, with the gold curved interior and the matte black exterior, so the base is in matte black. And you can see this is very easy to take off. As mentioned, we have these magnetic end plates, and then you can easily see the structure also of our profile. As Fred has mentioned, we are working with completely assembled profiles that can enter into your project. How do we do that? Well, basically we have the light section on top and we have the technical section back. So there we have the driver integrated. I also have the power-coded version here. This is our black power-coded version with the straight cover inside, as you can see. So basically on the back side here, I can show you all the technicality. You can see that the wiring has been done on the back. We have the driver integrated there. And then also to show how easy you can change also the covers, basically. This just slides out. You just take it out. And if you want to change that, you have this, for example, a sharp one, and then you just easily slide it in. And then you just click the end plate back on. Of course, for the sharp-edged one, we have a longer end plate so that it covers completely your design, your change of feature. And then this is the results. As you can see, we have a lot of possibilities. You can see now the nice combination of black and white, or you can still choose for the black version. So yeah, I'll give the word back to my colleague Fred, and I will see you in a sec.
Thank you, Andreas. Indeed, you see I showed multiple projects from office lighting into also showrooms in the last 2 years, and I will go into a few minutes to show you even more solutions in this. Yes, here you also see the combination of suspension profiles or recessed solution, play with colors. Also gold integration, upgrades easy for home office solutions, for example, without changing the color. But due to the fact that our Drupal is so efficient, distributes more than 3,600 lumens per meter of light, that's really a lot. We don't want you to kill your customers with light, but we want the right light in the right space with the right amount. One of the things, why did we develop that asymmetrical or the ellipse lens, I would say, is to mix the light onto the surface without having a continuous light of line, which sometimes is boring, continuous light of line. Here you can be more creative. So you have the option of 3 designs, different colors, different CCTs, dimming or not, and also you don't need to pull the light all over the line, which saves energy as well as budget. Here you definitely see that project from the other angle. Everything of light is really perfectly washed with not continuous light. Here it's just like not too much numbers, but I just want to show off a little bit with low UGR levels, which means it's perfectly to use in office lighting, but also you don't want to spill a lot of UGR everywhere, because it's something like you get tired. And that's why this profile is definitely to be used in different segments. So like I said, beyond 3,600 lumens is for the 4,000 Kelvin. We have different CCTs as well, and we have a very low UGR level. But Like I said before, it was developed for office lighting. It goes smoothly into high residential and hospitality, but it's definitely a really icon product or profile into retail, because the need in retail is we need a lot of light. The need in retail, I want to show my merchandise, but we don't have a need to show off with lighting luminaires. So that's why the showrooms of cars, they need averagely between 700 and 1000 lumen on the merchandise with the car. Well, this was a test project, one of the first BMWs that we have done with our Drupal. The result is from the shop window, which you can see in the middle picture at the left hand side, people want to have a lot of light. It's like the cars are jumping outside the floor and you don't see the lights. We also reached a perfect light quality. We have more for the people who know light design and dialogues. You can definitely see the requirement was minimum 800 lux on a car. We go much more beyond that, and the only light consumption we have is less than 7 watt per square meter to have 800 lux minimum, and it's delivered from 5 meters inside the ceiling. That's amazing. That's next to the design and whatever kind of features I was discussing before. This talks about technology. This talks about light design as well as the technology of the components, of the drivers and the solution in general. So again, modular shows here a perfect marriage between architectural design and top technology. But also these kind of simple projects just to spread the light, show what it needs to do, and just make a harmonization towards architectural design. Or go from wall A to wall B. I want to meet wall A, I want to meet wall B with my profile. That's also why you can enter your length. Home office, no, this is also meeting rooms where you want to have indeed a comfortable feeling, so then you can integrate that warm color of anodization. Easy to do. Integrate an uplight. In one bar of light, everything is included. Even at home, I want to have the perfect light when I prepare my food. I want to have the perfect light quality that my I would say tomatoes really look like a really red tomato. So that's also where Mr. Drupal has indeed a possibility to integrate. That was Drupal. Let's now go to the second profile, which is SLD 50, 55 centimeter. And here it's again a solution to make that combination between general lighting and spotlighting. So it goes beyond all kind of segmentations, that's clear. And it gives you a lot of possibilities. You go for surface, you go for suspension. Don't forget the wall, but the wall in the way that you don't see wires, you don't see screws, you have only a small design gap. So our installers will be so happy because it's almost, you can always throw it towards the wall. And then last but not least, we also have that recessed solution. But now also talking about one of the first slides is about the light quality. We have normal polycarbonates in, we have a poly out, but you also have a prismatic version with or without lenses to meet the office requirements. Then we go about efficiency, we go about UGR and customizations beyond everything. A lot of pictures, but this is just for the technical guys. It shows indeed the simplicity of 5 centimeter and 6.7 centimeter for the recessed ones, which shows again the small flange. Easy to install, but hardly visible after installation. Again, in that same small bar of 5 centimeter, we integrate, we assemble everything in Belgium. All the drivers are included, even the uplighter. And you don't see the uplighter because we have hidden it completely inside the upper part of the profile. And Andreas will show it very soon. But here we go about spotlights, balls again, power balls, really power balls. These small balls, they are only like 3.5 centimeter of diameter. You can gimbal them 30 plus and 30 minus degrees, and you can also rotate them 360. So this is also about showing functionality. Next to beautiful design, simplicity of architectural design, you have the full possibilities to lit up each corner of the room. You can also have different beam angles inside the small balls. But also about a little bit of figures and facts is that we also talk about the light quality. We have more above 2000 lumens per meter for the cold white, but we do not always need so much light per meter. So you can also go for a preset. We do that for you in the factory, but it makes your tender spec really defined to the needs of your project. You don't need a lot of light, you go and it's not dimming, but it's preset. It goes with a different data sheet and it's indeed makes it like the perfect light quality as well as the amount of light in your project with the suitable also power consumption. We also have lenses to include once we indeed go and talk about office lighting and UGR. But Andreas, I think now is the time also to show what this profile can actually look like.
Indeed, Fred, that's true. I will just switch the screen and here we go. Here I'm back. Now, I also have this SLD50 here with me. It's a sample that we have here where we have basically everything inside. As you can see, we have the general lighting completely here. We have the eyeballs again, which are here. And then also we have our uplights. Now, to go a bit more in detail onto the general lighting, as mentioned, this is completely until the border, so you don't see any border gaps. Then if we're looking at the eyeballs, these are actually very easy to aim. You can just easily turn them 45 degrees to one side and 45 degrees to another side, and then you can also easily turn them around in a 360-degree way. Yeah. Now, you might have seen this also hanging here. This is basically the accessory to mount it onto the wall. I'm not sure if it's quite visible, but I'll show it a bit more in detail. This is a very small plate, which you can easily mount it onto the wall very close to it, so that you can really create a very nice wall wash effect. Next to that, you can also see right now, I'm just aiming a bit so that you can see it clearly, the only 5 centimeter width of our profile, which is also very, very small. As mentioned again, for the trouble, it was the same, but also for this one, this is a completely fully assembled profile. So you have everything inside. Also here you have the driver inside, so everything is clear. And then, yeah, of course, you can see our uplight. As Fred already mentioned, this is completely integrated into the profile so that you don't see anything on the top or whatever. It's not mounted on top, it's really inserted. So this means as soon as you start to suspend it, for example, you don't see anything. So also on this side, really clear. Yeah, I will just now transfer you back to Fred.
Thank you. So what you see over here is actually the brother of the SLD50, but now it's the SLD50 naked. We don't want to show anything anymore, but it's there. It's floating inside an extra sphere. So the only thing which stayed was the SLD50 profile. So the 5 centimeter of carrier, and everything else is like a profile in a profile, together with floating balls, together also with general lighting. But let's show it a little bit more. So let's first go into the general lighting. The naked version doesn't want to show a lot until you really approach it. What did we do? We have used the design of the SLS lamp from a long time ago, the fluorescent one, which was highly appreciated by architects, but honestly speaking, technical people did not really like it. Logistically was a hell to deliver it. It broke all the time, dimming was not good, and output not even going there. So now Modular made a lookalike SLS solution with the platform, LED platform of Modular. But now the fun is here. You clearly see an outside profile together with an inside profile, and you can now mix and match again with your suitable colors. So meeting different colors from the outside, meeting other colors from the inside. And of course, we have also different lengths for the light source as well. But here are the balls back, and they're even more powerful than ever before because we can hide them very well. We can put more power in there, but same functionality, single balls, double balls, painted, only painted in white structure or black structure. And of course, like Andreas and I've mentioned before, you can tilt them plus and minus 30 degrees as well as a full rotation. But take a look on this one. Here we also experimented again with new colors, but not just anodized colors. Before we anodize, we have grinded it, brushed it a little bit. So you have deep grinding lines in that pure aluminum profile, which indeed breaks the light in all kind of different angles. You choose of gold, champagne, as well as also on inside solution. But now I'm switching again to the surface mounted. So here you clearly see that the profile is closed again. The balls stick out a little bit, but you can also use that soft anodized solution into indeed office lighting as well, because in this one we use normal polycarbonate, which you can see at the bottom. At the left hand side you see a white polycarbonate or a prismatic one together with spots. Makes it interesting and nice, comfortable to work as well. But again, mix and match yourself. You want to go for naked, you can integrate different colors, balls in combination with general lighting. Here I'm showing again the same as his brother. You can go for surface, recessed, suspension, and don't forget the wall. A lot of light, let's not go too much in detail, but you know, modular goes beyond what normal people do. So on technology, we have a lot of light as well as, like I said, just one figure, 622 lumens out of one ball. Forget the history of halogen. And that's what it looks like. So indeed, you see that small light design gap in the middle because we really want to simulate an SLS lamp. That's what I mentioned before. We have different lengths. If you combine them, you don't have a boring light of line. We simulate the touch and feel of an SLS lamp, but it becomes much more interesting once you make that combination. And actually, Andreas, I forgot to mention that if you make a combination of light, you also have the choice of different circuits. So once you indeed want to only highlight, for example, in these high residential projects, if you suspend, for example, you have that integrated uplighter as well on a different circuit. Or you want to have a different circuit for the spotlights compared to general lighting. The sky is the limit. Do I need to explain that corners are fun? That once you suspend, just be creative, like I've shown before as well. Play with the heights. You create that third dimension. The wall, different hospitality areas where you play with different circuits, dimming and so on, and be very creative. But profiles are not boring. Profiles are not only made for office lighting. No. I think this webcast proves that modular profiles are top technology, but also top on architectural design, which means you can integrate our linear solutions everywhere you want. So, ladies and gents, I'm almost inside half an hour. It makes me feel happy. Andreas, if we don't see questions for now, then I would say, ladies and gents, I see you next week or maybe this afternoon for the others. If there are questions, maybe pop up later, we will definitely send the feedback to all of you. I would say that's it for today. And if I don't hear you, see you next week.
Also from my side, I want to wish you all a great day. I see that there are no questions for now. Should you have any questions, as Fred mentioned, you can always reach us through several ways. Have a great day and speak to you soon.
Bye.